Alrighty then. Oop. And let people know what we are doing. Ooh, and need to go here. Alrighty then. Alright, I think it's now going good. Oh. Copy. Alright. Perfect. Alrighty then. Our oop, hello. There we go. Did I really open up this? I don't need that. Not yet, anyway. Maybe I will eventually fix that. But for now, no. Man, this cord is so dinky compared to the other cord. I think I might like this cord better. I don't know. I shall see. And nope. No, I don't need a brand new file. Tracks, brand new, mono, perfect. Mute this one. Go on to here. And hit record. To say that the rest of my week was stressful would be Generous. My newest disaster in the making had left me dumbstruck for almost a full minute. Very slowly I raised a hoof to my eyes. Once more, explain why you are doing this thing. Because it is a thing that should be done? The one from Manhattan offered hopefully. Being a protector is acceptable by the ponies, another suggested. I like the shiny shell. The guard has an important duty and lacks the number. The guard has an important duty and lacks the numbers to accomplish it? I groaned. These are not good explanations. These are not good explanations. They are understandable ones, yes, but not good. There is far more to being a member of the Royal Guard than mere duty or shininess. There are oaths involved. Welcome, Dodo! Welcome to the stream. Oh man, doing hooves on first. With the same character. This is very fun. I don't even know how I'm going to edit this together. But yes, welcome to the stream. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I am more than happy to answer any questions. While I struggle to read for the next couple hours. These are not good explanations. They are understandable ones, yes, but not good. There is far more to being a member of the Royal Guard than mere duty or shininess. There are oaths involved. We will not give the oaths, came a response with too much cheer and promise. That is exactly the problem. The oaths are important. The oaths are what makes a guard. Without them, you are ponies in uniform pretending to be guards. Stop being proud. Oh no, that should be more off the cuff. Stop being proud. Stop being proud. That is not intended as a compliment. I blinked. But why? They are a part of the rules that you agree to obey. I glared at each of them. It is unlawful to pretend to be a guard. I blinked. But why? They are a part of the rules you agree to obey. I glared at each of them. It is unlawful to pretend to be a guard. I protested this perceived injustice. But you are doing it. Scowling, I turned to face my accuser. I have sworn oaths and have been officially trained. I have sworn oaths and been officially trained by the best Canterlot had to offer. I have done everything according to equestrian rules. I am a royal guard. Enough of that. You will cease impersonating the guard, all of you, or I will be required to arrest you. That will be awkward. I grumbled a bit at that. I was not petulant, and I resented the insinuation. And stop being me. The 4 idle hooves in the cavern blinked, looking up at me in consternation. But this disguise is unquestioned. Using it for yourself is wasteful. It is me. Be you, I protested, trying to come up with a better argument in this. I am, unfortunately, well recognized among the ponies. If you are me, they will pay attention to you, and if you do not act as me, it will interfere with my ability to work. Wait, you live? Yes, I'm live. I posted that I'm live. Also, welcome, comma. Yes, I live. I live. However you want to pronounce that. Did you not get the memo? Where? Yeah, I did post it. I'm not crazy. Didn't get no. You didn't get a notification? Why not? YouTube, give people notifications. Also, welcome, ND. ND 1680. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, I'm still doing these slowly but surely. Streaming them, yes. Editing them, I'm trying. If they, I will eventually put out the rest of these. I have a few in the works, and I might actually be able to catch up to a couple today. No promises at all, but I will attempt. Not on YouTube or not on YouTube or Discord. What the? Are you not part of the live stream notification group? You should be part of the live stream notification group. That's how I ping everyone every single day. Welcome, Warlord. Welcome all y'all. Glad notifications are working as intended and not delayed in the slightest. Nope, none whatsoever. Any hoozles. There we go. Oh, I need to redo that line. I am, unfortunately, well recognized amongst the ponies. If you are me, they will pay attention to you, and if you do not act as me, it will interfere with my ability to work and be me, because I will be expected to act as you, who are not me and have not been me for this past decade. I should not have been so humored by Princess Luna's attempts to dissuade others from connecting her to Lady Moonstone. Surely this was my punishment. What even gave you this idea? One of us in Dodge Junction. He is a cherry farmer. He said there was a guard who knew what he was doing, so we decided to be you, One of us in Dodge Junction. He is a cherry farmer. He said there was a guard who knew what he was doing, so we decided to be you, so we can know what we are doing. Oh, you re-listened to the series 10 times? Aw, thanks. I really appreciate that. I think it went to my phone. Honestly, I don't know how any of this stuff works. I'm mostly poking fun at anything going out at all, because I haven't been doing this regularly enough. But if you are in the Discord, join the live stream notification group, and it should ping you whenever I go live. If you are not in the Discord, join the Discord. The link should be in the description. If it doesn't work, let me know. And I will post a updated one. And then you might even run into V. Very rarely, but all the other peoples are also in here, and they have a great time. But yeah, no worries. I've just been figuring out how to voice, what is it, 5 changelings that look like Idol, so I decided that they are Idol, and this will not be confusing in an audio format at all. Using V's name to attract people. Hey, it's his server. I just participate and hijack it every once in a while. Sue me. No, we use V's Discord server and are very active participants. That's how I'm going to word that. It sounds even better. I might sue you for that, NAS. Eh, yeah, you could, but one, I don't have a NAS, and do you think I have NAS money? You're an electrician. I'm a pest control technician. The differences in the amount of money we make is vastly different. uh, it's been so long since I've had to give idle emotions. Uh, hmm. Granted, I'm not there yet. Fair enough, but like on a whole, you probably make as much, if not more, than me, because while I make a lot of money in the summer, I make about half that during winter time. So honestly, any extra that I'm making is stocking up for next winter and the possible transition to a new career. I don't know yet. I've been thinking about going into HVAC, or at least my uncle's been really pushing me to get into HVAC. Not sure. I've been thinking about it. I think something. I think HVAC maybe not for me, but machinist or carpentry. I think I could be there. Oh no, I moved it. Oh, why? Oh, I moved it ever so slightly. All right, there we go. My stepdad does HVAC. He's a master's license. Nice. Lose weight and get ready to crawl around. I mean, it's pretty true. I like my friend, one of my local friends here is trying to get me to become a plumber at the company he works for, and I'm like I know you do only like new construction, but then you're still like digging trenches all day. I mean, at least they get it's a set 40 hours a week. Right now they're doing 410s, even though he wants to do uh 5/8 to get more time at home. I'm like, yeah, I could deal with a 3-day weekend. 3-day weekend sounds great. Better than the 11 and a half to 12 and a half hour days that I'm doing right now. And no overtime. Yay. We prepped the crawl space for you. The bug pump should be cleared by now. Oh, I should. Hold on. Let me post something. I'll post the crawl space I was in just the other. Just on Thursday, I want to say. I think it was Thursday. Uh, in the related chat. If I can find it. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I was in there for like a half an hour. If you want to post memes and stuff for the chat, they are in the live stream related chat. Oh yay! Welcome Nicked Brass to the server. Well, do Mad House? No, Madhouse. Perfect. All right. Oh right, I was supposed to be reading. Hold on. Oh gosh, Idol's voice, but cursing. Okay. Order preserve. Hmm. Gosh, hold on. Idle with emotion. I need to reach back to when he had emotion during the when he was being sassy. during the Discord, or just being a complete a complete jackass during the Discord section. Order preserve. Oh no, I clipped. And motorcycle ruined it anyway. Hold on. Order preserve! I snapped, taking a deep breath to control myself. I was irrationally angry about this and sought to push the emotion away. Where and when I did, even acquired. Where and when I. Just. I'm gonna keep me yelling. Delete all that. And just keep on going. I snapped, taking a breath to control myself. I was irrationally angry about this, and I sought to push the emotion away. Where and when I did even acquire so... Where and when did I even acquire so much... Oh, emotion. Okay, hold on. I snapped, taking a deep breath to control myself. I was irrationally angry about this, and I sought to push the emotion away. Where and when did I even acquire so much? Where and when did I even acquire so... Where and when did I even acquire so much? I barely know what I am doing. I am simply doing the best I can. Ponies are very tolerant of mistakes. Even so, I have strained my credibility with some. Regardless, my presence is roughly monitored. The guard has formations, check-ins. More than one of me would be logged. As it is, I will have to hope that it is attributed to clerical error rather than the idea that I am one of many. Of the four, two were merely confused. One radiated disappointment that bordered on grief, and the last just seemed tired. It means we'll have the money to buy the changing of the guard book once Gen 8 comes out. I feel like half the server are electricians already. Man. They might have to change from electricians to welder if they want to make actual money, though. Considering where everything's going. Considering all the price hikes recently. Idle being angry should be a scary thing. Oh, absolutely. Idle showing any emotion should be at DEF CON. What is it? Where does it go? DEF CON 1? I think DEF CON 1 is max, isn't it? Or is it DEF CON 5? I really should know more about DEF CON levels. Okay, so it is DEF CON 1. Yeah, DEF CON 1 is idle showing, or DEF CON 3 is idle showing any emotion. DEF CON 1 is idle being angry. I do not understand this. The ponies want others to do things, but then we cannot do those things. I want to be used. Tell me what I should do. What do I do for the ponies? I hesitated. What do you want to do? The tiredness gave way to anger. I want to do what I am told. I do not like being misled. I am told to do a task and wait. The tiredness gave way to anger. The tiredness gave way to anger. The tiredness gave way to anger. I want to do what I am told. I do not like being misled. I am told to do a task and wait. I do so. Others become irritated. Ponies constantly say they want things done one way explicitly, then want something else. That would That would not tend to be a thing most ponies desire, I admitted. You need to be more open-minded, and you. Why are you so upset? I like being you. You are us, but not. For real, though, I can relate. Honestly, same. Same. It, that changeling there is just such a mood for a lot of people. Tell me what to do, and as long as I can live with as long as I can make enough money, just let me do it. oh, stop making a humming. There we go. I froze. This was this was not a changeling. I froze. This was this is not a thing changeling within a hive should change. Gotcha. I froze. This was This was not a thing changelings within the hive would say as a compliment. This was. I stared at him hard. There was something odd about him. Something different. Too free with his emotions. Young, no longer a nymph, which meant he should be able to work, and yet, in pony terms, not quite ready. It was not a concept of my kind. One was either ready or one was not, a success or not. This one had, somehow, been a decent duplicate of myself, good enough that he had spread the idea, shown others, managed it on his own, and had decided to show me for approval? Who was I to give such approval? For that matter, who was I to disapprove? And why should he care? This one would never This one would have never fit in amongst the others. What was going on in the hive to produce such strange drones? None of my concern, surely, but I could not help but wonder, were there more exiles lately? It seemed I regularly This one would have never fit in amongst the others. What was going on in the hive to produce such strange drones? None of my concern, surely, but I could not help but wonder, were there more? Nothing good is happening in the hive? Surely not. This one would have never fit in amongst the others. What was going on in the hive to produce such strange drones? None of my concerns, surely, but I could not help but wonder, were there more exiles lately? It seemed I regularly assisted others of my kind. Not a constant. Did I? No, it did a. My voice did a thing I did not want it to do. I regularly assisted others of my kind. Not even. I regularly assisted others of my kind. Not a constant flow, but still. Never had there been 4 who sought my attention at once. Rarely I had even been confronted with 2 at the same time. It was simply not done amongst the exiles. Uh, it was simply not done amongst the exiles. Something was changing. Something was changing. Changing in the one place where change was under control, where order was maintained, and explicitly, I dreaded it. And inexplicably, why, Brand, why do you fail to read at such an opportune moment? Hold on. Inexplicit. Why? Why can't I remember how to pronounce Inex inexplicably. Inexplicably. That's inexplicably. Inexplicably. Oh gosh. If he ever gets a vacation, he really needs to come back and explore some of these other exiles. I know, right? I mean, he has a story just for telling a different perspective of the guard of the COTG universe of the Idolverse. Uh, he could definitely explore one of these other exiles or just what ifs. Ooh, that would be fun. All right, inexplicably. Why is that such a hard word to say? Something was changing. Changing in the one place where change was under control, where order was maintained. Inexplicably, I dreaded it. But that was a problem for the future. But that was a problem for the future. For the now, I could hope. But that was a problem for the future. For now, I could help. You cannot be me. I will. You cannot be me. I will not allow it. But, if you wish, I will make a recommendation to the guard. Perhaps you will be allowed to join. What you do with it from that point will be upon you. The rest of you, I will think of something. Come, let us make arrangements. The one who wanted nothing more than to follow orders did not move. I will not allow myself to become the cause for indecision. It ends. Perhaps one more time? I suggested, considering, then nodding firmly before asking, have you ever heard of accountants? Yeah, what ifs are very fun to do. I mean, we've done so many what ifs on these streams. I think my favorite what if has got to is between Officer Friendly and Fort Nowhere. And I think I just lean more towards Officer Friendly because we spent an entire stream talking talking about it as like an 80s style action cartoon. That would be great. Bust out the timeline. I mean, it is there for everyone to explore. Uh, I don't think we need to update the timeline because we don't even have a headcanon yet for these other exiles. Well, let's see. This would take place just before the wedding, that's for sure. How many people are here are new? At least show it to them. Oh, fine, fine. Let's show it to them. Why does that Google Translate icon keep popping up? What is it even for? Is it like an auto translate thing? Does it not recognize emoticons? I will never understand what happens with this platform. I will never understand. Oh, let's see. Where is the time? Give me timeline. And we will. Where will this show timeline? Yes, this will show timeline. So welcome to the timeline. Uh, Ignore the plushies. They are probably important. Uh, yep. Yeah, I will. The eh, eh, and then eh. There we go. Does translate address this? Yes. It just says, does translate address this? It doesn't say does translate respond to. Interesting. So it's just automatically doing auto translate for different languages? That's interesting. That's cool. And actually, hold on. Let's just take off Inkscape so you can see. Okay, so it shows. Okay, so it shows the non-translated version in the main chat, but for me, it does translate it, and it might even translate it in the stream. Hold on. Now we need to. Now we're doing science or something. Where's my channel so I can watch my own video? Uh, eh. All right. Does it translate it for the rest of the chat? It does. Okay. So everyone can always read what's put in chat. That's interesting. All right. So to those of you who's new, this is the Grand Idol timeline, where we get into the Idolverse, the Idol cinema bookomatic universe, the IBU. Oh, I need to put it back up. Yep. And there we go. This is the IBU, the Idolverse bookomatic universe. The Idolverse, because I can never remember how to pronounce that the same way twice. What we have here is a timeline of all the major and minor spin-offs and headcanons that have come from this lovely story of our favorite little changeling making his way through the world. We start at the top here, where we have the canonical idol, and it continues his journey through meeting Topaz, getting to Canterlot, being recruited by the guards, finding Circe, becomes a masseuse, even if becomes masseuse, becomes toyfied. Yeah, because I think V is like said that the idols are pretty much canon at this point. The wedding, Empire, and the far future of the timeline. Canon Idol has a few things before he even meets Topaz. We have the Changeling Queen Idol. Pretty much self-explanatory. Bone Idol. What was Bone Idol? I can't remember what Bone Idol was. Or Buggisher. Oh, wait. Was Bug... No, I actually can't remember. This was done in a fever dream of a live stream that I do not remember. Most people in the chat would remember it far better than me. Especially if we got pasta in here. Canterlot is one that I'm much more familiar with, where instead of being recruited by guards, he either becomes a bartender after meeting Pristine Grinds first, he becomes a groupie of a rock band and becomes part of the band that leads to Rock Idol, or he becomes a groundskeeper for a local orphanage and just basically adopts the orphans of the orphanage and just becomes the cool groundskeeper that will not let any harm come to the children. All right, Buggisher Idol is the sidekick in the comic universe. That's right. I don't know why I put it so far higher. Actually, no. Buggisher. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right, Warlord. Was it the New Year's? I have no idea. Hold on. I did put it on Derpy. So let's see if I can uploads. There we go. When did I upload this? It was 3 months ago. So one of the January streams. Actually, I can. It was uploaded. I created it the 18th. January 18th is when that live stream happened. So that's where you'll get all of it. Ah, welcome V. Welcome to the live stream. Idle, you're a changeling. Why are you helping the Buggisher? Because us. We are going over the timeline for everyone new in chat. Welcome. Also, welcome, Desk. Welcome to the live stream. It's been a while. Bone Idol? I can't remember Bone Idol. But the timeline continues on for a bit. We meet Circe. We have Roman Hooves, which is when Idol goes undercover at a strip club. We have Chocolate. This is between Circe and the wedding is the 10-year time skip, which anything could happen. Within that time skip, he could be mistaken as a secret agent for Smile. He's not actually a secret agent, but everyone else thinks he is, and that's how we get the chocolatier. It's also where he runs like his own candy shop as well. That's also where he creates a world famous book series called How to Pony. Originally made just to help out other exiles fit into pony society better, but gains popularity among adolescents and non-equestrians and how pony society works. During an unfortunate incident with Poison Joke, turning him into a plushie for a day, we get the marketable plushie of Officer Friendly, which kicks off a whole new line of toys, bringing Idol more riches, which he absolutely hates because it's the insanity of money. Pretty sure Drake's new that Drake's new here. I mean, you insist on streaming on Anime Catch-Up Day. Well, the thing is that this is more important than anime and has more anime qualities than most other anime. So, I mean, if you want a good horse book that has a lot of anime references, I highly recommend The Bridge MLP Godzilla crossover. Does really good stuff. Including an entire subplot at one point for Sailor Moon. Anyway, back to the Idolverse timeline. After this 10-year time skip, Idol runs into Daring Do at a convention that he's taking Circe at. Daring Do somehow recognizes Idol as King Cucaracha, and they do an unlikely duo team-up to try and uncover the lost treasure of King Cucaracha. Just before the wedding, we have Nowhere Idol, where he gets unceremoniously booted to this fort in the middle of nowhere, called Fort Nowhere, due to map mislabelings and whatnot, and finds a bunch of ragtag group of guards who aren't bad enough to be kicked out of the guards, but they're too strange enough that no one wants to really deal with them in their command structure, so they're sent to this fort in the middle of nowhere. Idol ends up here because because one of the guards that he's under says that Idol makes him look bad because of how proficient he is. So he's like, I'm going to have him transferred. And so that's how he can manage to skip the wedding without ever being revealed as a changeling. Then we have the wedding. Shortly after the wedding, we have him meeting up with the last unicorn, which is one of Karma's stories, which the last unicorn is Celestia's mother. I still need to read it. I'm sorry. I just don't have a lot of time at all anywhere. And that directly leads to the many greats granddaughter of Izzy Moonbow. Don't worry, we'll get to there. That's the only split off before we hit to the Crystal Empire, which, due to a lot of other great stuff made by Karma, we get even more how to pony, which leads to Colonel Idlehooves. We have between that and the far far future, we have Adiru, which is the My Hero Academia, where he has to cross into the mirror dimension in order to capture someone who has escaped there, and it is a My Hero Academia crossover. We also have him going into the Equestria Girls universe and becomes Idle Hands. Or it is the idol in that universe known as Idle Hands, who is a security guard, I believe is what we decided on. Welcome back. Then Equestria at War, where he becomes where he is a royal advisor to Princess Cadence, and this is canon in the Equestria at War mod for the Hearts of Iron 4. It's great. And then far future, at some point in his lifespan, Idle gets turned to stone by a cockatrice, survives the many generations down the line until he is unfrozen and meets up with his many greats granddaughter, Izzy Moonbow, who is part changeling, and that's why she can see ponies sparkle. It is her latent emotive ability that she gets from her changeling DNA. And that is currently the entire timeline of the Idleverse. Any questions, class? Anyway, let's get back to the... Should just have a speech. Yes, Desk, I am a blasphemer, and I am proud of it. In every which way. Also, V, you missed Idle talking to the 4 other changelings that were also idle. we never talked about Idle giving up guarding and decides to sell real estate. Because I don't think Idle would ever want to go into real estate. He would just say, wait, no, the land belongs to the crown. You cannot own land. Surely renting it... Is Celestia just a landlord? Are we underpaying Celestia? Tries to give all his money from said business to Celestia. Celestia refuses, and he just explodes. Can't thank V enough for helping with the climax of that story. Yeah, I can't wait to read it. It'll be fun. I just need to find time. Time to edit this, read more stories, build a bed. So many things, all while doing like 60-hour weeks. This is going to be fun. The last unicorn. I figured it was the last unicorn one. I still can't wait to read all of it. It'll be great. He's up with all the side stories. That's fair. That's fair. Where was I? Oh, yes. I'm going to try and figure out if I can remember how to do Luna. I knocked, hesitating only momentarily at the bar to enter from the princess. Oh, no, that has to be Luna, doesn't it? If you have ADHD, you'll love them. I definitely do have the tism. ADHD, I don't know if I have that superpower. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I do not know. Ah, nope, 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 nope. You go here. I knocked, hesitating only momentarily at the barked. Where is Idle? Hold up. Where is the princess? I need to find her voice. It's been so long since I've voiced Luna. Thou ought to. Ah, there we go. No, that's too British. Although the princess is. I think I do make him slightly British. Okay, so. This is. This is Celestia. I do remember this being Celestia. And then Luna is just a little bit up. I believe Lady Moonstone. Ah, yes, here we go. I yeah, I think this is where Luna resided. Where there Luna Luna. They were terrified of me. Ah, yep, there we go. Also, welcome, Farfalla. You can't boo me. I've been at this for an hour, and no one's distracted me. You were late. If you can't distract me after an hour, you can't be upset that I read 7 minutes worth of dialogue. Luna has no voice. Trust. I'm suspicious of that. But it is said in chat, and chat is usually never wrong unless it is unless it is desk. I was cleaning the gutters. Fair enough. Ah, I do not wish to have to clean the gutters when I get my own place. Although, if I don't have gutters, then I won't have the need to clean them. And plus, most houses actually don't have gutters nowadays. And I meant surprise you? You meant to surprise me? Ooh, surprise me with what? It's not difficult. Fair enough. Gutters aren't that difficult. My nephew actually does the gutters for his house. It's the heights. I don't do well with if I'm standing on a solid surface, I can tolerate heights. If I'm on a ladder, no. I cannot do heights on a ladder at all. They don't because it's cheaper not to include them. Also fair. Oh, you meant to jump scare me in my own chat at this time of day, located solely within this chat window. I will say, progress on that Murphy bed took great leaps and bounds yesterday. I finished cutting up 2 of the 4 boards. So all that's left now is cutting up the last 2, which one of them is the most intense one, and then sanding, staining, and assembling. That's all I have to do. And I'm either hoping to do it next Saturday or the Saturday after next. Hopefully, knock on wood. I couldn't even use a pressure washer. The hose doesn't reach enough. Get a longer hose. It's just get a longer one. It's fine. It's not like pressure loses over that much hose. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. You have to use a broken wind. Oh no! Like what my nephew does is he just puts on rubber gloves and just scrapes out the gutter. That's how we clean the gutters around here. No fancy schmancy thingamajiggers. Also, I can understand why people not needing gutters or not wanting to put gutters, or even builders not wanting to put gutters on, because we don't get a lot of rain. It's a desert, so 99% of the year they're kind of useless, and in fact might even be a hazard because of all the snow that we get. Because isn't it the gutter's job just to make sure it gets directed away from the foundation? So if your roof line is already over the foundation, shouldn't that be okay? I don't know. I'm not a building doctor. I left my garden gloves at work where I garden. Ah, dang. I mean, they sell gloves places. I don't know where, but I know they do. If not, I will just take them my work gloves from work, put them in my backpack. I actually have gloves that I. So for my work, it is catastrophic if one of your only things breaks on you. So, and I know that from firsthand experience when I was doing where I did not one but two bedbug treatments without a mask on, and it's like, and it's fine because it's not really pesticide. It's just it's a physical abrasive. Probably not good for your lungs, but also not deadly either. Having to do two jobs, flipping mattresses and furniture without a mask on in that environment sucked. And that's because the strap broke because I've been using it for like 6 months at that point. Anyways, we're anyways, now I keep not only the mask that's in use, I also keep a spare in the truck, and then I also keep a spare in my bag that I take to and from work to make sure no matter where I put, I always have at least one mask and one pair of gloves in my backpack at all times, so I do not ever forget it. The strap broke. Yeah, so it's like one of those. It was the masks that we wear are just like the the N95 masks, like the ones that are just meant to be disposable. They're not like the full respirators or anything like that. Because the dust that we use, it's while it's very fine, it doesn't really need a whole lot of filtration on it. So so yeah, it sucks to wear those masks, but it's you just feel like you have the worst allergies in history if for like the next couple hours and your throat constantly feels like it's dry until uh, and then it'll just like work its way out of your system and like overnight pretty much. It's never really had any lasting effects. You don't want to do it because it just sucks, but it's not too bad either, thankfully. It doesn't sound good. I mean, shirt also provides great filtration. So if you can manage to keep your shirt over your nose and mouth while you're trying to he-man a mattress that weighs like 70 pounds or more. Gosh, people having motorized mattress beds, air mattress frames, those things are heavy as shit. At least I wasn't as unlucky as one technician who had to flip a waterbed. Gosh, I felt so bad for him because he had to get it out of the frame, flipping it over so he could get all the corners, spray inside the frame, and then put the bed back into the frame, all while it's fully filled with water. I'm so glad those went out of fashion. But let's see. All right, I was about to voice Luna. Yeah, it doesn't sound good, but it happened over a year ago, and I'm not the first technician to have the strap break on them, so it's not a common problem at all, but it's a problem that's like not. We don't use that many chemicals that are really that poisonous because the amount of poison to murder a bug is not nearly strong enough of a poison to murder something like a person. And the stuff out of all the stuff that we have to work with, the dust, which is just a silica dust, not nearly as bad as having to work with this really astringent one that we use for clover mites because you have to use gallons of this, like over 10 gallons for a single house because you have to absolutely saturate the foundation, like the window, like the wall, window down and into the foundation all around this house. And it is the most astringent thing because I've had described as it is a nuke of the pesticide world, and even it can't kill mites faster than they can breed. It sucks to when you accidentally breathe that in from overspray. It's not bad for you. It just sucks. And you'll just sneeze a lot. That's for sure. Where was Luna's again? Ah, yes. I believe she was up here. Enter. 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 From the princess. I had heard frightfully little about how the princess's nightmare night in Pony. From the princess. I had heard frightfully little about how the princess's nightmare night in Ponyville had gone. Something about Nightmare Night being cancelled and reinstated? Princess Luna's nebulous mane seemed wispier than I was familiar with, her coat darker. To my understanding, this was concerning, closer to that of Nightmare Moon. Was I late? Perhaps slightly, if the princess was waiting on me. Surely I should have arrived immediately after her request. Corporal Hooves? I bowed, swift and precise. Your Highness called for me? She glared for a moment, imperious and oft. She glared for a moment, imperious and offended. You absolute Get that Canterlot voice ready. Ah. You cad! They were terrified of me, and I was roaring in the. You cad! They were terrified of me, and I was roaring in the Canterlot voice and making an absolute fool of myself. I winced. I had not expected that. She needs to sound furious here. I know. Furious. The thing is that I do not tap into that emotion often, so I do not know how to portray it. Hmm. Uh, I still remember Idol's me yelling at the top of my lungs during Shining's declaration of "We make houses out of you," and my voice cracking, and that will forever be on the internet. Thou art a cad. Luna has realized she likes to roleplay. Another for Shining in Idols, Ogres, and Oubliettes game? Yeah, absolutely. unlike me, who is always angry. Ah, yes, I can just imagine a piece of farfalla pasta just vibrating angrily at me as I break a spaghetti. I don't think you're Italian, but that's immediately what I always think when I hear pasta. You might be Italian. I actually don't know. But it's funny if you were. I still just. But the most important thing is just you a piece of little farfalla pasta vibrating angrily on my wall at just the mere sight of me attempting to read. All right, okay, Furious Luna. Let's see. Let's dig down deep. Uh, Nothing there either, but you can't. Okay, let's. Yeah, that should be good. British with Italian knowledge. Gotcha. You cad! They were terrified of me, and I was roaring in the counterlot. That's not even Luna's voice. I was switching back into idols for a second. Think of something that's annoyed you? You cad! They were terrified of me, and I was roaring in the Canterlot voice and making an absolute fool of myself. How's that? We enjoy roleplay. We are not a nerd. I'd say taxes, but you were a tax phone. It's a game with dice. Yeah, you had a the in that line? Damn it. Uh, and I was roaring in Canterlot. Why is there no the? Everyone knows it's the Royal Canterlot voice. If only I had my little ding. I don't have the ding anymore. I disconnected it years ago. Thing is, something I've just realized with the lore of MOP. Why is it called the Royal Canterlot voice? Because this was in fashion when they weren't living in Canterlot. It was something that they were doing while they were in the castle of the two sisters, not Canterlot. So unless Canterlot, the city around the castle of the two sisters, was known as Canterlot, then they moved. Then they moved to what is now today Canterlot, and then they're just like, we'll just say the same thing, just to keep continuity, and plus it'll save on signage. Why is having dice make it not a thing for nerds? Why is having dice not a thing for nerds again? It is now gambling. This is a mature thing for mature ponies. That is true. In some interpretations, the former capital was also named Canterlot. Fair enough. Personally, I like calling it Everfree in my headcanon. Let's go to the good Canterlot, not the bad Canterlot. And thing is that like the Everfree Castle was the castle of the two sisters. Was that how it was named way back when? Was there even a castle town? Dun, 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 dun. Well, it can't be the royal Everfree voice when they no longer live in the Everfree. But Luna never. But Luna's old fashioned. So she would have called it the Everfree voice if it was truly called the Everfree. In my current story I'm writing, it's Everfree City, rebuilt and repurposed. Ooh, that's fun. I always imagined that. Well, thinking about it further, I. You know what? Here's my headcanon now that I just had 5 seconds to think on it, and it might be crazy. Canterlot has and always has been on the mountainside, and it was a unicorn specific city for the crystals mined underneath it. And it was officially the capital only after Princess Luna and Celestia moved there, but there wasn't really a city built up around the castle of the two sisters. That's just where they lived briefly in the time between uh, in the time between uh, the Foundation and rescuing the ponies from Discord to uh, to Nightmare Moon. I think the Castle of the Two Sisters has always been there. Maybe that's where they spawned out of the ether. Who knows? The 5 second head cannon, the best kind of head cannon. The fact that they call it the Castle of the Two Sisters, that the legend of the sisters exists, that the movement of the capital is known history, but nobody's remembers Luna. I mean, that's been a plot hole since the first episode, and like the fact that Twilight was the only one to be like Princess Luna. It's like princess. It's like I believe that Celestia just kind of made the tale of the the two sisters be more an old pony's tale, just to throw everyone off the scent that her sister is Nightmare Moon. And like even then, I actually don't think people realize that Princess Luna is Nightmare Moon because they never believed that Nightmare Moon exists in the first place, and the only people that had first-hand connection with Nightmare Moon or saw Nightmare Moon was Ponyville. And they immediately threw her a party because Celestia's like, it's my sister, hey! And so she'll just ride in, so Luna will just ride into Canterlot with Celestia, and Celestia is like, oh yes, my sister was on a hiatus from the crown. She is back now. Let us all celebrate. Clearly, no one reads in Equestria. This is very true. Have you seen their language? So Celestia erases her from history? Pretty much. Wrote it out of history and set up as an allegory about Celestia? I'd say so, but maybe not so much as an allegory for Celestia, but to leave a little bit of the history behind as breadcrumbs for Twilight, because we know that Celestia has future sight. So maybe the elements whispered to her at one time, someone's going to put this together. Like, your sister's going to return. You need to find proper replacements for the elements of harmony. And so she leaves breadcrumbs throughout the history, because 1,000 years is a long time to plan for anything. That's 10 generations thereabouts. So there's, and that's if ponies live as long as people do, which we don't even know. It could be millions of generations as far as horses are concerned. But it's more that she wrote Luna out of the history, so she didn't become the boogeyman uh, of. So she didn't become associated with the boogeyman. Dumped everything in luck for now. For now, way a normal playthrough would play out like it did in the show. If dumped everything in luck for no way a normal playthrough would play out like it did at the show. Uh, yep, words. For no way. Yep, absolutely. uh, but yeah, no, I think I've always been a fan of just Celestia slowly manipulating the history, not for, uh, not to keep her as monarch or anything, but just to make sure her ponies didn't hurt people that they, uh, just so people, just so ponies didn't relegate someone as the villain. Because I've a favorite headcanon of mine for Discord is that he like his literal spirit of chaos, which I know is confirmed in the show, but also that the ponies themselves created Discord, not through any like known means, but they blamed Discord, like you would be like, oh, well, it must be the wind. Like, if something bad happens, must have been a Discord that did it. And the collective conscience of ponies, uh, saying that, keep on blaming this one deity with all their life's problems, manifested Discord in and of itself. And he is the collective unconscious for being a scapegoat. And uh, so when he fully manifested, he became the problem that everyone kept on blaming him to be, because he was created out of their desire to blame someone other than themselves for their misfortune. Yeah, how gods work in Discworld. Oh, that's how gods work in Discworld. I need to read Discworld. I've There's so many things I need to catch up on. I'll see if my library has a book on it. Because I always hear that you never read them in order. You read like read something else first, then you go back to read the first ones, and then you it must have been the wind. Yeah, absolutely. In the comics, he's like a less evil Lobo traveling from planet to planet, reality to reality, looking for chaos. Oh, interesting. Read Small Gods. It really covers that. I will. Eventually. I mean, there's a long list. My to be read later has hundreds of books in it, and I swear I will eventually get through it. I might die first, but I will read it. It casts a wicked something. Okay, that sounds ominous. But alrighty then. But yeah, I can't remember which story went about this the most. I can't remember which fanfic incorporated that thought process. But it was the sole reason why Celestia rewrote history to basically remove Luna from it as much as possible, because she didn't want ponies manifesting Nightmare Moon uh, as this pure evil being, because then uh, there might be, even with the elements of harmony, there might be nothing that she can do to get Luna back. And that's why she created Nightmare Night to try and to try and associate Nightmare Moon as still spooky and scary, but beloved in the hearts and minds of kids and adults throughout Equestria. Much like everyone really like classic movie monsters. Oh, that's the boogeyman, but it's not really as scary, because yeah, you can get rid of her because candy. You give candy to her. And how could something be that bad if you can get them to leave you alone with just candy? Now I only need a boogeyman to distract them from what Luna did. I know, I just make a harmless one myself. Discord knows how to fuck shit up. Imagine the god of a massive expansionist theocratic state that only has one believer. There's something going on with my mic? What do you mean there's something going on with my mic? There shouldn't be anything going. Oh, is it because I keep going louder and quieter? It's because I keep leaning away from it. I apologize. I will try and maintain and be firmly planted in front of said mic. 'Tis only proper. If something continues to be wrong with my mic, let me know. Oh my gosh. I just looked at the Livestream chat. Flying insect killer canola cooking spray, and they're both the same exact product labeling. Oh my gosh, that's such a bad design. It's like wind in the background. Oh. Yeah, that's... Yeah, that's the air conditioner. Hold on, let me see if I can... Let me see if I could do something about that. Hold. Does that sound better? Does it sound less whistling? That should... Now it's not whistling. Hopefully I can use all the rest of the stuff that I put in here. If not, oh no. We'll just need a third live stream to capture all of that. Now you gotta fix your chair. I know, I need to get a better chair. Do you not have a software to remove background noise? OBS has one. I haven't configured it yet. But I can put one in for Audacity. But it's not something that's connected to the mic itself. It gets applied after the fact, so it won't be in the recording. But it won't be in the recording, that's for sure. Okay, the AC's off. Now we get to listen to you cook. But yeah, I do have the perfect like little horror chair. It gets creaking if I rock back and forth in it. If anyone knows a good chair that won't break my bank, I might be willing to replace this. Although I do want to still buy hard drives. Shame hard drives are so expensive now. Although I was looking at a hard drive earlier today. That's only $20 per terabyte. I'd say that's a pretty decent deal. Considering I remember buying a terabyte hard drive and it being like $40, but that was ages ago, and I know they just get cheaper the more terabytes you put onto them. So this might be a good price. Thing is do I buy them one at a time as money comes in, or do I save up, buy them all at the same time, and hope that the price doesn't skyrocket? That's the issue that I'm running into, because I need at least 3 drives. Because watch the recording tech depending on what you... Watch the recording tech depending on what you want it for. Okay, I will take a... Is that a channel? That sounds like a nice channel. No, I didn't turn off the AC. I just opened the vent. So it will make my room unfathomably cold, but it won't be whistling against the vent anymore. I wonder if there's a vent that I could completely close off that won't make that whistling sound. Lazy boy computer chair. It also has to fit in a room that's about a a full and a twin bed wide and long. I do not have that much space in this bedroom, which is why I'm building a Murphy bed. And hopefully I'll get some more space in here soon. Chatterino? I've never heard of that software before. But yeah, I know LG has its own software that I could use with this mic because they bought Blue a while ago. I don't like it, so I'm just not going to go for it. Save up and wait for sales unless you're going to use them now. Interesting. But yeah, no, what I use is honestly, it honestly works for me. Uh, Noise gate only really helps to mute when I'm quiet. So it's only really useful for the OBS recording. To just filter out those lower notes, it just comes down to needing a quieter space. But I do appreciate all these recommendations. Uh, oh, let's see. Let's see about this chair. Oh, that's a nice chair. $100 more, and I could afford a hard drive with with that kind of chair money. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Ooh, and I can have it in blue. Beige, gray. No, I want it in blue. That's a nice blue. All right, I will keep that in mind. Thank you, Karma, and I will look at into this Chatterino. Is a chat client for Twitch. It aims to be. Oh, it might not work for here because it's not Twitch. I will look into this. That's all I will say. I will look into these things and I really appreciate it. Wrong program. Wrong program. Wrong program. No worries. No worries. But yeah, I have big plans. The big plans for a lot of things. And it's now just waiting to for more money to come in, which should be a lot quicker now that we're properly into the summer season. Because I actually do get paid a decent amount. But actually, while we're here, let's see if I actually do get paid a decent amount, depending on how much work I'm putting in. So I'm going to put in what I'm estimating my take-home pay is, not my net, or not my gross. I'm going to take my net. Actually, I probably should take my gross. Hold on, let me look up what my gross is real quick. $23. I get paid $23.40 an hour. At least that's how the hour breakdown works this week. And it changes week to week. They're side by side on my chat bar. Oh, hold on. No, it's not a channel. The recording tech. Oh, that's what you were talking about. Oh, the drives that I'm looking at are Exos drives. They're 22 terabyte Exos drives. Noise Torch. Okay, I'll look into Noise Torch. To get me started without factoring in a UPS or read write Blu-ray drive, it's appearing I'll need about 1K. You get commissions and base? No, I get so no, so I get pure commission. Uh, I get pure commission. I don't actually get a base pay. So depending on how much I upsell or how much or how profitable the appointments I get are will drastically change my pay from week to week. Yeah, 900 a week. Yeah, I get this last I get paid on a weekly basis, and my estimate for how much I'm going to be getting next week is about let me pull it up again. Is around 1200. But that's with me working. I worked 64 hours this week. So, and I had some pretty good days with some really high price plans. And I make about 20%. It changes depending on what treatment, but average is about 20. Yeah. Well, but it changes because during winter, this last winter, my highest paycheck was about 750 a week. Lowest it got was about 400. So really great high highs, really terrible lows. So you just get nothing. I also don't get paid time off or paid sick or breaks. It so you you get you get really well compensated because you don't get a lot of benefits anywhere else. You only work 20 hours a week? Oh, that's nice. 244 pounds a week though. That I would struggle to pay any to live with that because like my rent itself is 750 and that's really good for my area. And that's only because that's my half of rent because my roommate also pays 750. It'll raise you up to 2650. Nice. You see, I told you, Kama, you make more than me. It's why half the servers are electricians. This is very true. I just have to find an electrician apprenticeship where I don't start at like 15 an hour. If I can find that, then I could probably handle being an electrician. Because I can't drop from like 18, 19 an hour to 15 until like I get a maybe pay raise in like a year or so. So what you're saying is I need to become electric. Yay, more Sparkies. um where was I? Where was Oh yes, Luna. Luna being absolutely furious. Oh, let me close back up the curtain. The IBU. Ooh, what is the IBU? International Builders Electricians Workhorse. I No, I wasn't getting to Luna being absolutely furious. I don't know. I think I'm getting into Luna being absolutely furious. But I'll have to look into Noise Torch. OpenSUSE. Interesting. I will have to look into that further later. You cad! They were terrified of me, and I was roaring in Royal Canterlot voice and making an absolute fool of myself. I winced. I had not expected that. I winced. I had not expected that. The sudden flow of mirth surprised me. The fools loved it. I spent the entire night with Twilight being... The fools loved it. I spent the entire night with Twilight being introduced to her friends, too afraid to reveal that I was trying to play a part. I'm making her British again. OpenSUSE is a Linux distro. Oh! Okay, I'll look into Noise Torch. That's not OpenSUSE then. The only Linux distro that I'm currently trying to figure out how to make work is Kashi. And it seems fine. Gesture control on trackpad could be a bit better. Trackpad gestures could be a lot better. Because in Windows, trackpad gestures, great. You swipe up with 3 fingers to show all your currently working programs, which is fantastic. You can't do that on Kashi. It's just not supported. Might go to another distro. I don't know enough about Linux, though. Hear mixed things about Kashi. I've heard Linux Mint is also pretty decent, and I don't need it to be like hyper bleeding edge or anything like that. I'm just using it for a Windows laptop. You can always ask me. Yeah, you always ask me. Mint is. Okay. I will keep that in mind. Mint is. Its entire thing is stability. Fair enough. Stability over, like, everything else. And I heard in the Steam hardware survey, it's actually pretty high up there. The fools loved it. I spent the entire night with Twilight being introduced to her friends, too afraid to reveal that I was trying to play a part. The Royal Canterlot isn't simply out of style, it's dead. My sister hasn't used it in centuries. Thou art a cad. The best kind? I offered, daring to look up. It's wild. Like, Linux is one of those things where I would love to mainstream it, try it out, go full force into it. The issue is that I don't want to distro hop to just try and find something that I'm like, oh yes, this is great, but I need this to work better. Oh wait, no, I have to change over to here because it works better here. Also, I just realized the eye on my avatar is the wrong color. Why is it the wrong color? Why do I have 2 different eye? How have I never noticed this before? I need to go back and fix that. And give him his bandana, because I didn't even turn on the other things back on. Oh gosh, it's all falling apart. Yeah, no, let's get this all back. I need to give him back his bandana. I need to give him a bandana, put back his eye color. Welcome back. Or, see you in a bit. I'm too used to rolling really. I do not know what that is. You are not you when you're hungry. That is fair. I haven't eaten in like 6 hours. Although, I typically don't eat for like 7 or 8 while I'm at work. And It's either fast food or the peanut butter and jelly sandwich that I made for myself. Because there is no such thing as stopping to warm up food in a microwave. Not when you have 13 houses to visit in a day. You gotta go fast. But but yeah, I enjoy what Linux is doing, and I can't wait to do it. I just wish there was a more commonly accepted. Yes, here is the best jumping off point for people trying to get into Linux. And then if those who want to tinker have at it and choose any of these distros. If there was just a thing that's like, yes, you're that like took in a like basically like a survey to be like uh use case versus like experience as a power user versus just ease of use, and just be like, here's the thing that is most closely related to Windows, which I think at this point everyone kind of agrees is Mint. Maybe Pop OS, but I have no idea. I heard Mint is just like the best for stability, so maybe that's the best Windows jumping off point. And I'd be like, oh yes, so you like this thing, so here's these distros that you might, here's these DEs that you might like. Or you go, or like, oh, you're really power user? Arch. Anything Arch. Trying to get any answer out of any form is ridiculous. Though I still might give a shot and move over to Mint, because I installed Cache first because it seemed interesting and I don't really need to use it for that much stuff. But I might actually just reinstall to Mint instead. Zorin OS is Debian based and is specifically designed to mimic the Windows interface, though free options are limited. Though the free options are limited. Okay, so I might just give Mint a shot. I thought I would be using this laptop a lot more than I have been, so I just haven't had a lot of chance to tinker. Granted, I haven't even touched this quote unquote desktop for a while either, so I don't know. I don't know those either. Also, welcome Saber. Or actually, no, hold on. Welcome Aster. Welcome to the stream. Has the actual reading even started? Good sir, I have read at least 8 minutes and 32 seconds of book. I have made great strides, much to Pasta's uh, chagrin. Also, welcome Papyrus or Litmus, Litmus Papyrus, Papyrus Litmus. Did it? Welcome to the stream. The editing process will have 15 seconds of usable reading. No, it will have more than that. 4 minutes every hour. Gosh, editing feels like it takes that long, honestly. I've been trying to find more and more automated tools just to help pare down the awfulness that is trying to edit. Even though this is the easiest thing to edit because it is specifically non-visual, only dialogue options. Thank you for remembering me. Well, you only pop in every once in a while, so it's pretty easy now that I know what I'm looking for. But yes, you are now officially a familiar face amongst the live streams. Everyone, welcome, Master. Uh, while I try and figure out how to do Luna's voice for, gosh, a paragraph. And we shall see about that. One of a kind. I have ne'er bobbed for apples with the common folk, nor played spider toss. Gosh, throwing old wordy words at me, V. How dare you? How dare you? One of a kind. I had ne'er bobbed for apples. One of a kind. One of a kind. I had ne'er bobbed for apples with the common folk, nor played spider toss, and certainly never taken a hayride. Twilight is so delightfully eager to share such Twilight is so delightfully eager to share such events that it had never even occurred to her that I. Which Fallout game is your favorite? Ooh, Ooh, Fallout game. Okay, so I never played any of the Fallout games. But I will say New Vegas has the most intriguing storyline. Most intriguing and well fleshed out storyline is what I'll say. I like out of and I'm going to just basically base it off of the 3-day games because I've never seen any playthrough of the first two. Um, New Vegas, great for its story and how enriched the environment is and how every detail is actually like fully fleshed out. I love the potential of 4, but unfortunately, the potential of 4 falls flat on its face because it has an annoying quirk where. So, thing is, I will always complain. I will both love and complain about the Fallout 4 story for a long while because if you play a certain way, you should be able to bring peace to the wasteland and not have to wipe out an uh, entire faction. What should happen is that one, you are easily like the leader of all 4 warring factions to begin with if you play your cards right. So you should be able to just be like, all right, well, I'm the leader of all your groups, and I just say, and now as official like king of the wasteland almost, I say, peace in our times, or or even better, you become leader of the institute, and then you just kind of say, hey, maybe we should not clone people, as the new leader of the institute, and start bringing this helpful technology to the wasteland, and then suddenly you're creating a utopia that will last beyond your lifetime. There's so many better ways that it could have gone around. Fallout 4 had the potential but refused to commit. Absolutely. And Fallout 3 was also great story. I love how they covered up the cop out of, oh yes, this you super mutant, that is my friend and companion. You can turn it on without being irradiated. Uh, you can save the wasteland, and he'll just go, no, this is not. This is where your journey lies, not my own. And it's like, but I'll die if I go in there, and you thrive and like this is the whole point. Like this is great. I love that you are looking out for me, but could you just go in there and press the button for me? It's just a little go push it, and then we'll get you back out. Wasteland will be safe, and everyone will be happy. Fallout 4 had that terrible habit of looking at the camera and going, "Can you believe this shit?" Fallout 4 is the greatest modding platform Bethesda ever made, but not a great Fallout game. That's very fair. For Fallout 4, there's a mod that allows you to join and play as the Enclave to the point they dominate the wasteland. Good story. Forcing the main character to sacrifice themselves to save the world is a terrible mechanic when there's not a workaround. Yeah, absolutely. And thing is that the main character sacrificing themselves uh, would be good if you couldn't befriend a super mutant. Or like you had 1,000 rataways on you or something like that. Sacrifice should be the good ending for everyone else, but you could have done better ending. Absolutely, that's 100% how I see it as well. Is self-sacrifice is great, but there should be an even better secret ending, even if it's the non-canon ending, where you save everyone, including yourself. Just get the DLC to undo that. I actually don't know that much about Fallout 3. Um, I I don't know. I know more about Fallout 4 because I that's the only one where I watched a full playthrough. And by full playthrough I mean full playthrough where this guy, his name's Steven Plays, does great playthroughs. I need to get back to watching his channel eventually. He went through and managed to get the ending where only one faction had to die, and that was the Institute. RIP Institute. But managed to get the other three factions to not kill each other, and he didn't officially side with any of the factions, and they all kind of live in peace with each other. Although it's kind of buggy, and you have to follow very strict quest lines in a very strict order, or else you'll be railroaded into one of the factions and have to murder all the other ones. Sacrifices great elder equinox of Carthage circa 330 BC. Also, the best game to do a sacrifice your MC thing is Legacy of Kain. I never played Legacy of Kain. Kain gets the choice to sacrifice himself to save the world or seize power and rule it as it crumbles. The canonical ending is to choose to rule it. Interesting. But but yeah, getting the good ending in Fallout 4 requires so much workaround because Bethesda doesn't want you to choose that. They want you to be like, no, you either side with one of the four factions, or you don't side, or you have to side with one of the four factions. We will not let you. But people have found a workaround, but it bugs out the game because certain characters that are physically alive because they didn't get killed by other factions, the game sees it as as that character being killed off, so you can't interact with them anymore, even if they'll just sit and walk around the headquarters of that faction. Most obvious is with the railroad, because they'll because Bethesda's code just kind of sees it as, oh yes, Institute is destroyed, Brotherhood of Steel is still on the map, so this character must be dead, even though that cutscene and that that questline didn't play out at all in your game. So it's a little bit bugged, but that's the only way to get the good ending, and you have to play it so carefully. Sounds logical for Kane, I think. And then Kane is the main villain for the Soul Reaver series. I mean, the man was the pillar of balance, basically the elements of harmony, but corrupted from birth. Of course he'd choose to rule instead of sacrifice himself. That is very fair. I also like the canonical ending of what was it? Dark Souls 3, I want to say, where you're where the main character chooses to let the flame die out and uh, and welcome in the era of man, I think is how it went. It's been ages since I've looked into the lore of that game. I was happy with the Brotherhood of Steel until the initiation, where I realized they were Yeah, yeah, no, they're it's it's a whole thing. Although they could have done a different faction of the Brotherhood of Steel, kind of like Applejack's Rangers. You could have you could have done something like that. Bethesda said you chose not to, even though Fallout Equestria is almost as big as is almost as well known as Fallout by itself. Ugh. But oh man, like all the factions have their own merits. I feel like the faction that has the most merits is gosh, what are their names? The two that I would honestly side with the most is between the Minuteman and the Institute. Even though everyone says like the Institute is evil, it's just like they're the only ones that are actively looking to rebuild from the wasteland rather than to just merely survive in the wasteland, and they actually have the technology in order to do it. So if you destroy them, you kind of seal the fate of everyone in the wasteland to never really move on from the shadows of war. Bethesda kind of screws up all the factions from the original Fallout. Yeah, fair enough. I never watched a playthrough of the original Fallout, but I heard it's really good. They had Outcasts in 3, which were more aligned with West Coast Brotherhood of Steel, versus Elder Lion's Compassionate Take. Could have been cool for the Compassionate Take to be a significant sub faction still. Absolutely. They were not supposed to be fascists, they were supposed to be warrior monks. Very true. Still inside the faction that we still follow for. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, I like the idea behind the Minutemen of the way to save the wasteland is through community. Love that idea. Unfortunately, that faction is kind of dead at the beginning of the game, and like if it wasn't for the main character, which literally saved it from its dying breath, it would have died out. So the Minutemen weren't really good at their jobs, or either were just stretched way too thin and needed almost a literal god character in order to prop up that faction. So out of the only viable factions, actual viable factions, I'd say Institute's probably the way to go. The uh, weird thing about the Institute is that they have the technology to rebuild. They just use the technology to no clue what they really do. Like they're doing a bunch of tests and whatnot, and I believe what they were trying to do was they were influencing the wasteland to just kind. I can't remember because it's been years since I've watched the storyline of it. They had the technology, but it wasn't perfected yet, so which is why they needed to build up the fusion reactor or to restart the fusion reactor to keep the research going. Uh, until they could produce something to basically they were trying to remake the garden well, what is it called uh in Fallout? I only know from Fallout Equestria, which is the Gardens of Equestria. Like recreate that for the wasteland. That's my guess anyway. The purpose of the Brotherhood of Steel is that they're collecting all the lost tech from the Great War. That's way OP in preventing random warlords from using it. Yeah, basically nobody can be trusted with this stuff. The only reason we're using it is to make sure no one else can resist us taking it. Gek, the Garden of Eden creation kit. Yeah, they're recreating the Gek. And they're building things to try and just bring back the world that was lost. Like they had, like, not quite animatronics, but synths of various animals that are now extinct. So who knows what's going on there? But I'd say like the Institute's honestly the best bet for like properly rebuilding the wasteland, especially if the main character was at the head of the Institute, which has actual experience out in the wasteland and could ease tensions between them, especially if they were also the leaders of various other factions. If not, you could, you were someone that probably helped out amongst the rest of the wasteland to be able to do it. It's just a whole thing. It's a whole thing. They could have solved it, but no, they didn't go far enough with the storyline there. The Brotherhood evolved within a century or two to killing people who had a nearly broken laser pistol. By Fallout 4, they were blanket Luddites using, unless they owned the tech. Feels like scientists without a lead. They could cure cancer, but they build artificial gorillas instead. Yeah, pretty much. And like Father did a lot of things uh, to bring them forward, and like his probably greatest achievement was putting you in as the head, because you're the one with any actual experience in what the wasteland needs to, and like what the people of the wasteland need to rebuild their lives. It's great. And like they were, and who knows what else they built, because they could have had lots of other things like synths. Yeah, like yeah, not great replacing people, but at least as protect, like yeah, what were they called? Like the coursers, like the really badass synths. That for like security around the wasteland. Yeah, you would be seen as a dictator for while you're trying to rebuild, but kind of reminds me of like oh what like Dragon Age. I think it might have been one of the Dragon Age games where you overthrow your evil brother, uh, and insert yourself as king because your brother had done a lot of terrible stuff to the kingdom, only to realize he was only doing that to save it from an even worse threat. And now you're stuck with probably having to make the exact same choices in order to save the kingdom. Fable, that's what it was. Welcome back, Farfalla. Oh gosh, it's already after one? Man. Hey, I think I played some of that game. Yeah, Fable 2 or 3. Yes, something like that. It's just like a yeah, in the short term it will suck for a lot of people. And but it like it's kind of a ends justify the means kind of thing, which I hate those kinds of arguments. But in like the Wastelands case, like what for Fallout 4 took place like I can't remember, was it 200 or 400 years later, and the wasteland still has not improved at all. Like no one's trying to like rebuild like the manufacturing. Granted, like there's no resources anymore because that's kind of like the whole point of the resource war, but it's still just kind of post-apocalyptic, and you would think after centuries something would have been done other than just keep on keeping on. Oh, it's only 200 years? Alright, so that's a little bit better. If it was 400, I would have been more suspect. 200, yeah, that's 2 generations. You would think that after two generations, no one can even remember what the old world looks like to begin with. But you'd think people would start trying to, restart society. And the closest we saw with that is the NCR. Uh, and like a couple of tiny factions, but no one wants to work together to do that, and they're still living in ruins rather than properly rebuilding. So that's my gripe with the Fallout games. Bethesda Fallout games feel like they were set 30 years after the war, far too much radiation still left after 200 years, and none of the streets have been cleaned. The NCR is actually a great example of slow rebuilding. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Like that's honestly my biggest issue with the Fallout franchise is that it's taken too long for anyone to rebuild. And I know it's kind of hard to rebuild from pretty much nothing. But it's not like all knowledge was lost. You have all the vaults. You have all the tech that's in there. You have all the granted all most of the vaults were just failed experiments anyway. But surely they contain knowledge on how to rebuild things. Gosh, this devolved into Fallout lore talk real quick, didn't it? Oh, geez. So it's getting a bit late, and it's looking a little stormy outside. So my original plan for what I was doing after the stream is no longer the case. But I do have other things I do need to catch up on before I head back to work tomorrow and start the whole thing over again. So I better get on to doing that. But we shall see you next time. Thank y'all for joining me. And I'll see you hopefully next week. Probably. Who knows? Maybe. Maybe not. But until then, take care. Bye.